come to gawk, too? My punishment's over, you know. I shouldn't take my anger out on you. It's not your fault I punched my captain. Though maybe he shouldn't have insulted my aim. Like I don't know the difference between a smooth and rifled bore. I'm not reporting back to Wakoyo, that's for sure. I crewed on mercenary ships before this. Come to think of it, that suited me better. Still a scramble-root at heart, I guess. But I'm plenty experienced. Maybe I'll see if anyone's looking for an expert cannoneer. See you around.
I hope you don't mind me asking, but how do you get your shirts on in the morning? I guess so. You in the market for some supplies, friend? Because I'm from Rawatai. Or, to be more specific, my ancestral home's been part of the Empire for decades. Few generations now. The usual way, I guess. Their soldiers beat ours. I guess it used to. When I was younger, I grew up hearing stories of the time before from my grandparents. But they were children themselves when Rawatai took over. Some wax romantic about the old days. Anyways, I'm just trying to make a living. That's why I'm here, after all. I don't know. I never known anything else. We've got the Rawataians' fancy new irrigation canals now, and the roads have gotten better. The ones leading into Tokoa, anyhow. Funny thing is, the further you go on them, the nicer everything gets, and the more it all looks like this. That's a better subject. I've got all sorts of goods and supplies. Take a look before you head back out. Take a look.
Clear skies, my friend. I know of you already, Captain. Maya, I assume you vouch for your new captain?
On occasion. Why?
Your ship, unmoored from Deadfire politics, is an asset I would grasp with both hands. An arrangement can help us both. You will empty the seas of competition in exchange for profit. An official reckoning is drafted to account for every cannonball shot in the name of Rawatai. Our paperwork is most thorough. For every ship sunk, there is a legal justification. Our enemies will know the war is started on the day we fail to turn in our paperwork. A Scylla wave skipper is your first target. A pirate shirking any pretense of lawful conduct in the open seas. Most excellent. A Scylla commands the Voyager River Dragon, which pesters a group of islands to the southwest of Port Mage. Ask away, my privateer. I would not have you take to the water uninformed.
Why does your Ranga carve his name into a rock?
The Ranga Nui, and it's a commemoration to show what he built.
Oh. Then did your Reparo also write their names on other stones? For what do you squawk and gloat over a heap of stones? Akira, you Rowatayans are strange cousins indeed.
The brass citadel is a marvel of modern engineering. With the gates barred and the cannons primed, it can withstand any attack and weather any storm. Surely you can see what a fine stronghold this is. We transformed a rocky cove into the best defended harbor in Nekataka. Such achievements must be celebrated.
This rocky cove was once a prized fishing spot for the Riparu. These Rowatayans act as if every bare islet is merely awaiting a fort or a farm. They cannot look at anything without planning to change it.
To strive is to survive. Those who would achieve greatness must make the world a better, more ordered place than they found it.
Why change the world when you can learn to live in it the way it is? This is what my people have done for thousands of years. But for what purpose? And at what cost? Akira, nothing invigorates like a good discussion. Thank you for indulging us. There is so little we understand of one another.
Happily.
Green islands and blue skies.
The locals don't know how good they have it.
Can you believe your eyes? I've never seen such a fair, pristine land.
I've heard they're grand, but I can't imagine they compare to this.
I grew up surrounded by storms and stones. Rawatai is my soul. But this place has enchanted me.
It's the land. Fertile, green, and abundant.
No, it's something else. I just can't put my finger on what.
And who are its people? The Huana of old? Or the pirates who live here now? Deadfire belongs to those who can master and build upon it. That's what's exciting.
Perhaps that's it.
There's so much we could build in Deadfire.
Leave. No Valiant spy is coming through on my watch.
I'm a merchant. I have business inside.
You want to see our walls, our cannons, our powder house. You must think I'm an idiot.
Ak, you got one thing right. The Royal Deadfire Company is a trading company, is it not? And you are on Kahanga soil. You cannot turn me away.
The Brass Citadel and the Royal Deadfire Company operate under the auspices of the Ranga Nui of Rawatai. We answer to him, not to you. And certainly not to some tribal queen of Nekataka. Oh, you're one of those. These Valians are always sending their spies to snoop around, and I won't have it.
And these Rawatayans think they own anything they stack two stones on top of. I am here to conduct business, not engage in petty power struggles.
What? She's up to no good. I know it. Fine. But if you're wrong, we're gonna have a talk later.
Aggressima, friend.
At least that Thalian isn't bothering me now.
What hazard visited Hasongo? What disaster darkened its halls? Brave trenches call for justice. Kahunga fold their hands. The Valiants cheered Hasongo's disquiet from afar. Malice lay behind their eyes. Their hearts hid treachery. All-body people, all Rowatide, to many lands you spread. Heed the call of the Raganui, his voice shall fill your sails.
So, you fell for all of Nitehi's flowery talk of cultural pride. I hope your time on Nekataka as the Juana-loving errand runner is profitable. Now get out of here. We're done. Get lost. I am finished with you.
the former Lady of Cadnua, and one-time Terrifier of Harbor Masters, if dockside tales are to be believed. You have not brought much good news of late. So, in addition to pirates, profiteers, and slavers, the Deadfire has a vengeful god roaming its waters? Good. Because the last thing the archipelago needs is another disaster tugging at the seams. He must be stopped. If there were help to be found at the palace, do you think Deadfire would be such a mess? The Valians won't lift a finger if it isn't to snatch a coin, and the Huana will barely do that much.
Success in trade has been quite elusive for the Rauataians, but the bitterness suits you well.
No one takes charge to solve the big problems. But perhaps we could work together to our mutual benefit. Look around. Deadfire's full of fertile, temperate islands. Except for Andra's mortar. It's largely free of rough weather. Yet much of it is uninhabited. Itinerant tribes drift between some of the islands, and smugglers and slavers cluster around the rest. It's a waste. Imagine what this place could be, with well-guarded shipping routes. How many Rauataians we could feed with plantations here. That's a naive view. One our enemies are keen to promote. Rauatai's violent storms have shaped and hardened us as much as they have our homeland's rocky terrain. But it remains a difficult place to live. So, we rely on trade, and on plantations we've established here. And those developments also create a more stable, productive Deadfire. The Valian Trading Company wants to leech every last coin they can from the Deadfire, no matter the eventual cost. They're little more than thieves. The Principi are actual thieves, no matter their pretensions of nobility. And the Juana are happy to let them all pick away at their fractured empire. We're interested in building something here. Wait and see for yourself, Watcher. In the meantime, there's work we can do together. You've got a good head on your shoulders. Deadfire needs more of that. If you're chasing the god who's stomping this place into the ground, then we have a common goal. And if you're going to survive here, then you could use an ally. The disaster at Hasongo remains a key concern. We rely on the port there to ship food back to Rauatai. That's on hold until you investigate. Short of that, there are other matters that demand attention. Atsura, our Grand Secretary, has a plan that would make use of your unusual talents. His office is downstairs. He can tell you more. Hazatoa. Atsura and I usually have a game running, and this one's been going on for over a month and a half. Atsura's good at misdirection, but I've got a mind for the long game. You look like you've come with a purpose. It happened a year into my first command. We were chasing pirates along Rawatai's south coast, and they landed a shot right next to our magazine. A lucky hit. I ran below. The fire was already spreading and making for our powder stores. I smothered what I could with my uniform, pulled the rest away with my own hands. We don't get to choose our challenges, do we? Just the way we meet them. There's a cost to every victory. And the win goes to those willing to make a sacrifice. I'll bet you already know a thing or two about that. And if you don't, Deadfire will teach you soon enough.
Indeed.
I always forget that part. Say, you're the Watcher of Cadnua, aren't you? I've never met anyone famous before. Except the Hazanui. She yells at me sometimes. Oh, all the time. Where's my white leaf? Stop daydreaming. Support me, if you lose the ledgers again, I'll have you clean the latrines. All this time, I didn't realize she knew my name. It's just, this is my first time away from the rough country. I'd heard there were thick, green forests and sandy beaches without a storm in sight, but I never imagined this. You must have traveled lots, seen all sorts of amazing places. I sure hope to. I'd love Rawatai, but it's hard to go a week without seeing storms, or hearing about mudslides burying a village somewhere. I really wish I could, but my supplies are for the Royal Deadfire Company and our allies. Hazanui's orders. Maybe if you impress her or Atsura, they could make an exception.
They weren't that bad.
Rhyming Hazanui with Kablooey?
I can't think of anything else that goes with Hazanui.
Me neither. That's why I leave epics to the lore college.
Criticism is easier than creation.
Happily.
Just a moment.
There you go.
Indeed. Of course.
Watcher Nui, the Lady of Cadnua. I'm not one for ostentation, but your remarkable display at Queen's birth suggests that you are an individual with skills, not mere style. I am Atsura, Grand Secretary of the Royal Deadfire Company. And why not? Thousands of years ago, our people came from the archipelago. By one reckoning, we have as much claim on these islands as the Huana. But our purpose here is trade. While our homeland is rich in saltpeter, the violent climate and rocky soils make it a poor source for most other basic staples. It's my business to look after the mainland's interests here. And it's a pleasure to meet someone of your elegant manners. I wish I had been there to see your grand entrance at the palace, but I avoid Serpent's Crown as much as possible. It is a place of entirely too much talk, and I find that the more talk one hears, the less it means. Such is the world we live in. Were it different, all the locksmiths and masons in Eora would be out of work. And here our neighbors include a nation of pirates and a fractured people led by a figurehead. To say nothing of the Valians. Leave it to them to observe a substance that occurs nowhere else on Eora, and immediately set about pulverizing it for profit.
And leave it to a Rawatayan to ignore the dozens of other uses Valian animancers have discovered for luminous Adra just in the last few years.
I do not think in years, Aimika. I think in centuries. Yet the Valians toy with luminous Adra like a child who has discovered her mother's pistol. Nothing. We know too little about luminous Adra to understand the consequences of ripping it out. Perhaps you can help me keep them from doing more harm. It's not about what the Valians are doing to us, but rather to all of the Deadfire. The demand for luminous Adra has sent the Valian Trading Company into a frenzy. Their expeditions grow too bold, and their officers too greedy. Worse, their rapid expansion attracts pirates and threatens the outlying Juana tribes. This risks souring the Kahanga royals against all foreign involvement. But you can curtail their growth. By snapping up land we need to grow food and build ships for our people? Indeed. But our interests and Deadfire's are not mutually exclusive. The Valians have sent an expedition to Pococahara, a storm-wrecked island believed to house a vein of luminous. I hear you accomplished an incredible feat in restoring the luminous Adra near Port Maje. If your abilities allow you to do that, then perhaps you are also capable of the opposite. Find the luminous Adra at Pococahara. Render it unusable to the Valians. This should encourage them to develop the resources they have, rather than reaching for more. Deeply. But if a small sacrifice here will discourage the Valians from further ventures, then it is a worthwhile risk. Because governors like Clario are a rare breed. Most of the Valian administrators care little for the well-being of the Juana. If the Valians claim Pococahara, it is the locals who will truly suffer. For all their faults, they don't lack imagination. I'm confident they know of our intentions. Deadfire is a tumultuous place. Consider the value of an ally with ships, cannons, and the backing of a great empire. I do not have the precise location of Pococahara, but the tribe on the nearby island of Tikawara could probably help. I suggest starting there. Now, what else can I do for you? It's a trading post, of course. Anything worth building is worth protecting. It's a trading post, of course. Rawatai is rich in saltpeter, copper, and a few other profitable minerals. We generally trade for food and timber, which grow poorly in the rough country. The Valians have become aggressive competitors in recent years, but our ships were plying the seas long before the Republic's declared independence. We learned the value of defending our goods and ships long ago. Clear skies. It's a trading post. Rawatai, the Valian, we learned. It's a trading. I just did. How do you mean that? It comes from years of practice. It's the only way I've learned to beat Karanui at Hazatoa. How do you mean that? Are you making advances at me? It's for the best. This would be a most inconvenient time to begin an attachment. How do you mean that? Rawatai is composed of many types, but it's true many here are soldiers and engineers, none of whom are especially diligent about paperwork.
see what I can find.
The Ranga Nui leads us, but he represents... Our chanters say we once came from Deadfire. How can we be so different?
Oh? You look like you have something on your mind. One would hardly imagine that a colossus made of glowing Ardra could be so hard to find. But then I suppose the gods wouldn't have chosen you if the task were easy. It's been a while since I've been able to speak candidly with anyone, especially about the leaden key. It's unexpectedly liberated.
Oh?
What's on your mind? I want the destruction to stop, only I don't see a plan.
Aye?
Yes, you only have to ask.
Yes?
Speak your mind, Captain.
I'll see you when I see you.
If you want for company, look no further. You need something? Akira, for what do I owe the pleasure? Akira, what say? Haruihi would not have told whatever is happening in the gullet. Let me explain. Nekataka's great. Unless you are in One evening, I snuck out and followed a group of shapers. I expected to find myself in Serpent's Crown. And to my surprise, they went down to the gullet. There are no water sculptures in the Riparu. The crown only flaunts our power where it can be displayed for foreigners. At least, a better class of foreigners than the type who frequent the gullet. We are not forbidden from entering the gullet, but it is simply not. If they have broken the crown's law, I simply want to know how and why. You have questions? Akira, I have answers. Between the crown and the guild, if Ngati had not I say the goddess touched me for more than enriching one tribe, glorifying one island. Akira, yes. I say there is me, Takehu, and there is the Takehu others would make like a coconut husk doll. The more I try to be the Takehu I know I am, the harder I am constrained. What say? But it is the adoring people who made Takehu. Many think that I have a duty to the Huana. I say I am the only one unconvinced. I only dismiss what others would make of me. I know how I seem.
Well, you've certainly made up for lost time.
If Ngati had not touched me, I wonder if anyone would care.
Poor boy. He has it backward, as usual. I did not choose him so that he could do great things. I chose him because talent should be fostered toward any end. How fortunate that you are here to set him on the right path. I know you won't disappoint.
Apologies. I say I never miss an opportunity to talk about myself. You have questions? You have my attention. What say, my friend? Akira, what say? I followed a group of watershed, as you will.
I'm here.
The gullet is no place to wander. Watch yourself for rowdies and pirates.
Gray? Captain?
Yes?
You have my attention.
I'm here.
What say?
Need something? Lots of folks come through the hole, fresh face. Have a look around for yourself, yeah? What you need? Sure. Berta's cooked up the best grub the gullet has to offer. It's not actual grubs, though. Probably. You're not picky, right? Let me know if you see something that makes your stomach rumble.
Farewell.
Like a moth to a flame.
Oh no. This does not look good. Why would someone do this to Joccolo's work? I thought Animansus was safe here in the Deadfire. Even in a place this vile, someone must have heard or seen something. We should ask the owner if they know what happened. I hope so. Agrasima.
Need something? Can't say I know a jackalope, fresh face, but if you're meaning that guy with all the fancy and a schmancy equipment, bunch of pirates burst in here and dragged him right out. Now, the hole's no high society tea house, but that's still some of the weirdest shit I ever seen go down here. See, the pirates, every one of them was godlike. No doubt they hauled him through the Narrows. Heard him hollering the whole way. Poor guy.
What did you find, Ishi?
What do you require? A most agreeable topic. Or so I hope. Yet you are still standing here, no? It is only a shame I did not hire you in the first place. What do you require? And now the real work begins. You must take this to the Undercroft. It lies just below Delver's Row. It is where goods of questionable provenance originate. Take the lift from Delver's Row, not the lift in the gullet, mind you. My associate Gwenfen will await you outside a passage in the old Juana style. The ruins of the old city are perilous, yet rumored to hide great treasures. Still, the Juana do not permit people to go there except to die. And yet, among the ruins is a certain mosaic. Enough to reward you well for finding it. The shell you found will reveal it to you. Gwenfen can explain all when you find her. It is said the old city was once as grand as Serpent's Crown. Whatever treasure you find there is yours to keep. For now, take this. Consider it an advance. There is a lift in Delver's Row, next to a Netzo shop. I will see that the people who guard it do not give you trouble. Once you descend, cross the bridge. Behind the stockade is a door to, well, a very old place. You will know it when you see it. Gwenfen will await you and the cornet there. Do whatever she asks as though the request comes from me. Have you the memory of a minnow? I know you've been before.